Didn't actually realize I was live already. It hasn't popped up on there. Okay. All right, just making sure the YouTube and everything's going right. Because I don't think I've gotten a notification. And that should have went out earlier. Hmm. Actually. Yeah. Hmm. So let me stop stream there and see if I can't restart it. All right, let's manage that. Broadcast created. And then let's start. Let's see what happens. There it is. Yeah, I don't know why it didn't pop up earlier. Pull that down. So after the news, there was a great setup. I was not prepared to take it, so I just walked back in. News candle right here. Nice run on stops, and then it just set up nicely. And this is the micro. Even on the ES, it actually had a further dip and a much higher move. I actually have this structure laid out that it's wanting to play around again with, as you can see. So, but that right there is just that move that we like to see, man. All the time. Nice consolidation here. Let's go ahead and get this. Nice consolidation here. Kind of a push into that, kind of fake us out a little bit. News candle, wait for the run on stops. And then it kind of turned around pretty quickly. I don't know if I'd have been able to have gotten in other than just taking the trade right around in there to take this push up. But that's clearly kind of like that bread and butter that I like to see. So, and from that point on, we've just moved. So it's about a 15, 20 point, yeah, 17-point move from the bottom of this. I mean, from an entry standpoint, if you go to the 1 minute chart, you had this one little pullback right here and then the breakout. Watching it, I would have wanted to see another little push down and then kind of a little consolidation and then a break. and that would have been ideal. But, obviously the market does what it wants to do, and you have to make those decisions on the fly and just jump whenever you want to, whenever you feel, comfortable enough. And if you're not, then obviously you shouldn't be taking the trade. And at that point, I wasn't. So if you go to a 5-minute chart, I was actually waiting for price to come back down to this candlestick top. I was wanting to see it kind of break back down a little bit. It did not. And then it just took off again. So I did not get into a trade here either. And in fact, being a 25K account, what I'm going to end up doing is trading this on the micros. I think I'm going to feel a little more comfortable starting with the micros, and I'm going to go with 5 units on the micros, which is basically a half a lot on the ES. So it gives me a little bit more of a wider stop. As you can see, my stop loss right here is going to be just a 0.5% of the account with 5 units. And then the profit will be 1.3 at 5 units there. So I just think that's probably the smartest way to tackle this smaller 25K account to start with. So we'll go from there. Looking at the dollar, it just keeps selling off from this news. News event was at 8:30 right there. And it just never recovered, continued to fall. I think that staying patient during the news candle is just so important, because if you go into the 5-minute chart here, the dollar falling, you would have assumed that the markets would have been just absolutely crushing higher, but they didn't. They actually fell with it for a pretty good while, and then when the dollar stabilized here is when the actual market started to make its push. So market open in 7 minutes. Be right back. So I'm still getting used to everything. Of course, the dog wants to come in now. Still just a little over 5 minutes before market open. All right. So market open here in just a few minutes. I like this straight line right here. I'd like to see a little pullback. Still looking for price action around this area, around this 5-minute candle right here. And would like to see the market pull back into there, stabilize, give me some sort of entry or another push back up to the daily opening price line. And that's what that green line is. So if you're not familiar with what I have on my charts, let me go out to 1 hour and show you. So the 3 blue lines is what's called the Monday range. I have a video on the Monday range and how I use it. I like to see price action hang around the Monday range most of the week just because it's, just gives me very good targets and entries and areas in which price may slow down and make a decision. And then the green line is the daily price line. You will see a yellow line way down here. That is the weekly price line. And then there's another red one on here, way down here. Yeah, that's the monthly price line. There is a yearly as well, but that's pretty much out of range. It's way down there. Notice this morning during our live room session, I go live every morning around 5 a.m. Central Time, that this news event. So market open, this is the Monday low. And then yesterday's news event, which was the FOMC meeting minutes at 2 p.m. and 2:30, we had this nice candle come down. Well, if you put the Fibonacci on it, it actually hit the 6.2 pretty solidly. Actually, it did on the ES perfectly, but on the micro, we were just a tick or two short. But as you can see, we've come down and perfectly played off of that equilibrium there on that bounce from this news candle this morning. So I'm still bullish on the market. I think we continue to run a little bit. I think the dollar is getting into an area where we could see an extra little fall. Let's go down to 4 hour. Let's go to the 4 hour chart. I think we're still a little bearish. This structure line is kind of in my sights for today, maybe even a little below that. You got sell side liquidity just below that. And then another structure line down in here that we might see tomorrow if it continues to be bearish. And also the Euro USD crushing up even higher. I was expecting price to move down a little bit more into this trend line that I have marked. You go to the 4 hour, you can see that we have this nice rounding structure right here, a little cup and handle looking like action. Looks like we're going to hit this buy side first, but then I would like to see it kind of trail off, consolidate, and then continue higher. And that would be a very bullish type of pattern that you could jump in on the Euro USD, which is, kind of following the ES pretty good, right? So if we really zoom out, we go to the daily on this. Actually, let's go to the ES one. Do this real quick because market's opening in just over a minute. Kind of a not as pretty of a move underneath, but similar, right? So if we can get up into here and then make like a little pullback, let this structure hold us and then bounce from there, it'd be a similar pattern. I can see the same thing unfolding with the ES as is with the Euro. Jump back into the 5 minute. A few more minutes for the market to open up. Let's jump back on the micro. There we go. Again, this is kind of that line I'm looking for. I want price to come back down in there. And then I will take a bullish position to back up to these areas and daily price line. And market is open. Get that immediate push. Nice pullback, kind of what I'm looking for. The market's going to take off pretty early in this candle. Let's see what happens. One reason why I'd like to draw trend lines on the chart is because it just kind of gives me a visual as to where the liquidity pools are. So it keeps me a little more patient when getting into trades. So like this over here, a pretty good straight line right in here. And what did the market do? It eventually dumped into this liquidity pool, got down towards the bottom of it, started to consolidate. Then we had the news candle, which dropped into further liquidity down here before then rejecting and moving up. So these areas I like to see straight lines on. That just gives me an idea of where liquidity is. And I just feel liquidity is one of the most important things, if not the most important thing that you need to be looking for on the charts. Just like around news events, the market open. The most important thing is just to be patient and let the market kind of show its hand. So right now, I really want to see the market come down into here, get into this liquidity pool, all the way down to this 5 minute candle, if possible. And that way I would be a little more comfortable taking a long from here. NQ kind of making its way down a little bit further. As you can see, look at that consolidation there and where we dipped into before that push. Same thing here that was happening on the ES. And here we're getting a push down into that liquidity that it's created a little bit more than what the ES is doing. Just kind of hanging out still around this 44.10 level. Straight sideways. Probably going to get a push here. you go and throw some moving averages up there, we had a cross down here, and then looks like we're tightening, squeezing right here to possibly continue the trend. NQ looking a little bearish. Dow starting to break out. Dow pushing up, but the ES and the NQ are not following. In fact, the NQ is going the opposite direction right now. ES looks like it's trying to catch up. Really good move on the Dow. NQ looks like it can go. Yeah. NQ gave you that pullback into that liquidity. Really nice. So it just didn't set up for me like I wanted it to. And I wasn't content on chasing it up in here. After this move, I wanted to see price action work back down into this area and then go up. Unfortunately, it has not. And now we've already moved to another level. Daily price line would have been my target. So drop some structure dots on that. NQ not pushing higher like the rest, but this would have been a good enough move for most. It's 20 points. The Dow still crushing. Mm. Watching from the sidelines as it continues to move higher. Looks like the better play would have been on the NQ. I just haven't been playing the NQ lately, and the ES didn't give me the type of pullback I wanted to see it open. Dollar trying to find its feet down here at these lows. Yeah, this level up here at 44.20, that's going to be a good level. 44.22. NQ might reach up here to the 222s as well. Getting above that level. See if it holds it there. Yes, coming down slightly. You dig into this structure right here. We had consolidation, push, consolidation, kind of in the down, slightly bearish consolidation, and then a push, slightly bearish consolidation. There's market open, and then another push, and there's your momentum. So I mean, there's ways that you could argue to get in, obviously, on this move at market open, but at the same time, it's just climbed so much. For me, I'm not going to risk chasing this high, even though obviously we're looking at a 15-point move afterwards. Excellent move. Got up here to 22. Where's the NQ at? It's still got room to go. Yeah. It came down here to the structure and held. Would have been a good buy there too as well. 20-point move on that candle. And Dow looking to gain, get all the way up here to its Monday high. Such a good push. There you go. We're at the daily, pushing through it. My 2 live streams and 2 times sitting on the sidelines. So looking at this right now, we've gotten above this liquidity at the daily price line all the way back to where we opened up last night at 6, where we kind of popped up and then sold off from that point. Got all the way down to equilibrium of this large weekly move already. The highs were presented on Wednesday. Since then, we've fallen. Right now, we're sitting in that structure. That's a pretty good little area right here. I like that. See what's the dollar doing? Still falling. Yeah, that's going to have some more down. So I guess right now we could be eyeing the 44.30 level and the 44.39 level, those two areas. You get another straight line here. Liquidity below it. See if we get a little pull down. It's one of those moments mentally, like you are frustrated because you saw the move coming. You knew you was bullish. You wanted to get involved, but it just didn't give you the setup you wanted. So you didn't get in, but then it moves, basically 20 points in the direction where you wanted it to go. And this is one of those times where it's a mental game to not make a poor decision just trying to chase. There's always tomorrow. There's always later today. What's up, Kyle? Man, how was Europe? I think what I'm going to do is end up cutting the stream on YouTube, and I'm going to leave it open for Yumi and trading. So Kyle, you can hang around. I'm just going to cut it off of YouTube right now because this right here is just skyrocketing, and I'm not playing ball with it. So I wanted to make a turnaround, give me a reason to get in. So just go ahead and stop the streaming on YouTube. Appreciate those that showed up, and probably see you tomorrow. Cool. Oh, you're in Copenhagen right now. Nice, man. That is awesome. Well, soak it up, man. Enjoy it. Trading here has been pretty decent. Um, I've gone live on YouTube the last few days during the news events and then at open. And I haven't, yesterday, I didn't pull the trigger on this play right here, but Fred did. He got about 10 points out of it. And then today, news set up perfectly down here and then market open there. And it just did not give me a reason to get in on this, man. And it's just absolutely crushing. And I don't want to chase it. Took out the 30s now. And now it looks like we're going to be heading for 40. It's just blistering. Same way with the NQ. NQ made it to the daily up here to the 22. Said it was going there earlier. This actually presented the best play. It got down into that liquidity right there that I wanted the ES to do, and it didn't. The ES didn't do it, but the NQ did and dropped and then came up. So if you go into a 1 minute chart and you can just look at it, see it setting it up, this would have been a nice place to get in. I mean, you're looking at almost 100 points right there. Oh, nice. I didn't see that. You on the NQ or ES? Nice. Yeah, at open, you had this nice pullback. Yeah. I was just seeing this more, this heavier line of liquidity and was wanting it to dip into there just a little bit further. And just I guess being a little, I guess, greedy in a way or whatever, being a little too conservative. So I did not jump in on that. But well done, man. It was a great move. What was that? About shoot, yeah, man, about 14, 15 points, 13 points. Nice. There you go. Making money while you're in Europe. See, you can do this from anywhere at any point in time, Bo. Well done. Are you liking it over there too much? You coming home? You're just gonna find a place and just stay. NQ giving a little bit of a pullback. Let me back out and get some bearings on this. So we're here. We've got the opening day gap right there. Price has gotten to. We do have this right here. Solid line. You see that? Drop into a 3. Let's go all the way into the 1. Oh, I got you. About another week or so out there. Well, the good thing is, man, you're having a good time. Y'all both are having a great time and enjoying it. And you can always go back. Man, I really like this line. I'd love to see it dig into it a little bit further. Same with the ES. Just kind of grind it up on the 1 minute. Just kept going up. So I'd love to see this pull back down and maybe to the daily price line. We got some highs that I'm gonna stretch out real quick. And with no more news really on the horizon today, yeah, you get the Japanese monetary policy so out later today. So that might be something to look into later. Nope. Nope. 21 EMA. Good place to pull back to. You could probably easily take a short here too. Just don't want to buck this trend. So there you go. And that's why. There's about a 4-point move in the last few seconds of that candle. All right, man. Have a good one. I appreciate you showing up, Bubba. Have a good time out there. Be safe. Look at that. Another huge push. Absolutely insane. NQ hasn't made the same push, though. The down the ES just seemed right with each other. All right, I think it's going to call it right here on the live stream, and we'll see you again tomorrow.